When you trust Allah, life begins to transform in ways that defy logic and imagination. The doors you thought were locked forever suddenly open, the paths you never saw appear before your eyes, and what seemed impossible becomes possible. Miracles are not random. They are gifts from Allah to those who place their hearts fully in His hands. There are 8 powerful keys that will show you how trusting Allah brings miracles into your life. Each one is a secret that you must hear carefully, because together they can completely change the way you see your struggles, your hopes, and your future. Let's walk through them step by step. Number 1, surrendering control brings peace. Every single one of us carries a desire to be in control. We plan, we calculate, we try to arrange every detail of our lives so that nothing goes wrong. But the truth is, no matter how much we plan, life has its own turns, and often things do not unfold the way we expect. This is where many people become restless, anxious, and even bitter. They fight against reality, believing that if they could just push a little harder, they could bend life to their will. Yet, the miracle begins when a person realizes that control ultimately belongs to Allah, not to us. Surrendering control is not weakness, it is strength, because it takes courage to trust the unseen hand of the Almighty. When you release the need to control everything, you allow peace to enter your heart. Imagine carrying a heavy load on your shoulders, walking day and night without rest. That is what it feels like when you insist on managing every outcome yourself. But the moment you hand that burden over to Allah, your soul breathes. You realize you are not walking alone, that the Creator who designed your destiny already knows the ending of your story. This realization is a miracle in itself, because it transforms inner chaos into tranquility. Trusting Allah does not mean you stop working hard or making efforts. In fact, Islam teaches us to tie the camel first and then place our trust in Allah. It means you take all the steps within your capacity, but you do not tie your heart to the results. You do your best, then surrender the outcome to the one who sees what you cannot see. This mindset protects you from despair when things do not go your way, and it keeps you humble when success comes easily. Surrendering control also opens your eyes to the hidden wisdom behind delays, losses, and setbacks. Sometimes what feels like rejection is actually protection. What looks like a closed door may be Allah guiding you to a better one. When you stop forcing life to match your limited vision, you begin to notice how beautifully Allah's plan unfolds. Every disappointment becomes lighter, every fear loses its grip, and every uncertainty feels safer because you know it rests in the care of the most merciful. Number 2, faith unlocks doors beyond imagination. There are moments in life when you feel stuck, when every door you knock on seems to remain tightly shut. And no matter how much effort you pour into your plans, nothing moves forward. In these moments, despair creeps into the heart and whispers that perhaps you will never find a way out. But this is precisely where faith becomes the key that unlocks doors you could not even see before. Faith is not a vague hope. It is a powerful certainty that Allah has endless ways to deliver you, even when all visible routes are blocked. It is the trust that His treasures are infinite, His knowledge is complete, and His power extends beyond imagination. When you hold on to faith, you allow yourself to believe in possibilities that the human eye cannot perceive. Think of how a seed buried under the earth seems lifeless. Yet with time, water, and sunlight, it breaks open and gives rise to a tree. From that hidden state, life emerges. In the same way, faith allows miracles to emerge from unseen places. What you thought was a dead end suddenly transforms into a fresh beginning. The heart that carries faith looks at barriers, and instead of saying this is the end, it whispers, Allah will make a way. Faith also strengthens resilience. A person without faith crumbles quickly when faced with obstacles. But the one who trusts Allah stands firm, because they know that every hardship is temporary and every struggle carries within it the seeds of relief. And when that relief comes, it often comes in ways so unexpected that you cannot help but recognize it as a gift from Allah. A job you never applied for, a solution you never thought of, a helping hand you never imagined. All of these are doors unlocked by faith. Another miracle of faith is that it does not only open physical doors of opportunity, but also spiritual ones. It allows the believer to feel hope in the darkest hour, light in the deepest despair, and comfort in the harshest trial. These are doors of the heart that can never be shut once opened by true faith. When Allah sees sincerity and trust in the heart, He places barakah in the believer's life and arranges matters in ways beyond human planning. Faith is the master key that reveals that no door is ever truly locked, as long as your trust is placed in the one who owns the keys of the heavens and the earth. Number 3, trials become pathways to blessings. Life often feels like a journey filled with twists and turns, moments of joy followed by sudden challenges that shake the heart. For many, trials appear as roadblocks, as if they are punishments sent to make life harder. But when you learn to place your trust in Allah, you begin to see that every trial has a hidden doorway leading toward growth, wisdom, and blessings you may not have asked for but desperately need. Trials are not designed to break you, they are meant to build you into someone stronger, purer, and more connected to your Creator. Think of how rain falls heavily on the earth, making it muddy, messy, and difficult to walk upon. Yet, after that rain, the soil becomes fertile and life begins to flourish. In the same way, when trials pour into your life, they may feel uncomfortable or even overwhelming at first. But through patience and trust, you realize that these struggles are watering the seeds of your future blessings. Without that storm, the fruits you are meant to receive would never grow. This shift in perspective changes everything. You stop asking, "Why me?" and instead whisper, "Ya Allah, guide me through this." Trials also serve as purification. Every hardship wipes away sins, polishes the heart, and draws you closer to Allah. They strip away arrogance and remind you of your dependence on the one who controls every heartbeat and every breath. When you trust Allah through trials, you are not losing, you are being cleansed, elevated, and prepared for something far greater. The pain you feel is not wasted, it is an investment into your future reward. Another hidden blessing is that trials teach you resilience and empathy. When you suffer, you learn how it feels to struggle, and this softens your heart toward others. You become more compassionate, more forgiving, and more generous because you understand what it means to carry burdens. This empathy itself is a blessing, for it makes you a source of comfort and light to those around you. Most importantly, trials turn your focus back to the eternal. They remind you that this world is temporary, that comfort here is fleeting, and that ultimate peace lies with Allah. With trust, every hardship becomes a ladder, lifting you closer to Him. What seemed like a wall transforms into a doorway, and every step through that doorway leads to blessings greater than what you lost. Number 4, patience invites miraculous outcomes. Patience is one of the greatest demonstrations of trust in Allah. It is easy to say you believe, but belief is tested when life places you in waiting, when your du'as are delayed, when your efforts seem fruitless, and when relief does not arrive as quickly as you hoped. In those moments, patience becomes the bridge between your prayer and your miracle. Without patience, you risk losing hope just before your breakthrough, but with patience, you invite miraculous outcomes that unfold in ways far beyond your imagination. Patience is not simply sitting still and doing nothing. It is an active state of faith where you continue to strive, continue to pray, and continue to hope, all while trusting that Allah's timing is more perfect than your own. Think of a farmer who plants seeds in the ground. He does not dig them up every day to see if they have grown. He waters them, cares for them, and waits. That waiting is not wasted time, it is the necessary process for growth. In the same way, your patience is the nurturing of your faith, allowing Allah's plan to blossom at the right moment. When you practice patience, you protect your heart from despair. Many times people lose faith because they expected immediate results, forgetting that delay is not denial. Allah may withhold something temporarily not to punish you, but to protect you or to replace it with something better. Every moment of patience is recorded, every tear is seen, and every silent prayer carries weight with the Almighty. The miracle often arrives when you least expect it, and sometimes in a form so different yet so perfect that you realize the waiting itself was part of the blessing. Patience also shapes your character. It teaches endurance, humility, and resilience. Without patience, anger and frustration can take over, blinding you from the wisdom hidden in your trial. With patience, however, you begin to see life differently. You realize that not everything is in your control, and that acceptance is a form of strength, not weakness. It allows you to carry on with dignity even in the face of difficulty, and this inner strength is itself a miracle gifted through patience. The beauty of patience is that it is never wasted. Whether your dua is answered immediately, delayed, or replaced with something far greater, your patience guarantees that you will be rewarded, and often that reward arrives both in this world as relief and in the hereafter as eternal joy. Number 5, gratitude multiplies miracles. Gratitude is more than a polite expression. It is a powerful spiritual force that transforms the way you see life and the way Allah blesses you. When you live with trust in Allah, gratitude becomes natural because you begin to see His hand in every detail, both big and small. Every breath, every sip of water, every moment of safety is a gift, and acknowledging those gifts opens the door to even more. Allah promises that when you are grateful, He will increase His blessings, and this increase often arrives in ways you could never have planned. Gratitude is not only about receiving, it is about multiplying miracles in your life. Being grateful does not mean you will always live without hardship. It means that even in difficulty, you are able to recognize the blessings that remain. When you trust Allah, you understand that every loss may carry within it a hidden mercy. Gratitude allows you to look at what you still have instead of being consumed by what you lost. This shift in focus protects your heart from despair and strengthens your connection with Allah. Gratitude turns pain into perspective and trials into opportunities for growth. Another miracle of gratitude is that it purifies the heart. A grateful person is less likely to complain, compare, or envy others because they are too busy appreciating what Allah has already given them. This creates contentment, and contentment itself is one of the greatest treasures. When you are content, you stop chasing illusions and begin to find peace in the present. That peace is a miracle many search for but few discover, and gratitude is the key that unlocks it. Gratitude also strengthens your faith. The more you thank Allah, the more you notice His blessings, and the more you notice, the more reasons you have to trust Him. This creates a cycle where your faith deepens, your heart softens, and your reliance on Allah grows stronger. With every Alhamdulillah, you invite more mercy into your life, and that mercy often comes in the form of unexpected openings, answered prayers, or protection from harm you never even knew was coming. Living with gratitude turns ordinary moments into extraordinary ones. It allows you to see miracles in everyday life, whether it is the smile of a loved one, the relief after a storm, or the quiet gift of peace in your heart. Gratitude is the lens that reveals the countless blessings already around you. And when you trust Allah with a thankful heart, He continues to increase you in ways beyond your imagination. Number 6, fear fades, courage rises. Fear is a natural part of human life. Everyone worries about the future, about provision, about safety, about whether their efforts will succeed or fail. Fear often grips the heart so tightly that it stops a person from moving forward. It whispers doubts, creates hesitation, and magnifies problems until they feel overwhelming. But when you place your trust in Allah, fear begins to lose its power. You start to realize that the world is not in the hands of people, situations, or circumstances. It is in the hands of the Creator who loves you and who controls every outcome. That realization replaces fear with courage, because you know you are never truly alone. Trusting Allah changes the way you face challenges. Instead of shrinking back, you step forward with confidence, knowing that victory does not come from your strength alone, but from His will. This courage is not arrogance, it is reliance. It is the certainty that if Allah is with you, then no obstacle can defeat you. And if something does not work out, it is because He has a better plan waiting. Such courage allows you to take steps that once felt impossible, whether in your career, relationships, personal growth, or spiritual journey. One of the most powerful effects of trusting Allah is that it frees you from the fear of people. So many live their lives paralyzed by what others might think or say. But when your heart belongs to Allah, the opinions of people lose their hold. You stop seeking their approval and start seeking His pleasure. This freedom gives rise to incredible strength, because you no longer measure yourself by worldly standards. You measure yourself by sincerity, effort, and obedience to the one who matters most. Another way trust transforms fear into courage is by shifting your focus from outcomes to effort. Fear often comes from wanting to control results. What if I fail? What if I lose? What if I am rejected? But when you trust Allah, you realize your responsibility is only to act sincerely and wisely. The results rest with Him. This understanding releases you from anxiety and fills you with determination. You act with courage because you know that success or failure in this world does not define you. What defines you is your reliance on Allah. Every act of courage rooted in trust becomes a miracle in itself. The courage to forgive when you could hold a grudge, to rise again after falling, to speak the truth when it is unpopular, or to keep moving when fear tells you to stop. All of these are proofs that trust in Allah makes the impossible possible. Number 7, rizq flows from unexpected places. One of the deepest worries that sits in the heart of every human being is the question of sustenance. People spend their lives chasing wealth, security, and provision, fearing that if they do not work harder, plan more, or cling tightly to what they already have, they will be left with nothing. Yet, Allah reminds us again and again that He is the provider and rizq comes from Him alone. When you trust Allah with your sustenance, you begin to witness miracles of provision that come from directions you could never have imagined. Trusting Allah with rizq does not mean you sit idle and wait for blessings to fall from the sky. It means you strive, you work with sincerity, and you take every permissible step available. But your heart is not attached to the effort, it is attached to Allah. When this trust is alive within you, even a small amount of income feels sufficient because Allah places barakah in it. You realize that it is not the number in your bank account that matters most, but the blessing Allah pours into it. A small piece of bread can satisfy, a little wealth can stretch far, and a modest home can feel like a palace when Allah places barakah within it. The miracle of provision often comes when you least expect it. A door opens without you knocking. An opportunity appears when you had given up hope, or relief comes in ways your mind could not have planned. Sometimes risk flows not only in the form of money, but also in good health, supportive relationships, inner peace, or protection from harm. All of these are part of sustenance, and when you trust Allah, you begin to notice how richly He provides beyond material wealth. Another hidden blessing of trusting Allah with rizq is freedom from constant worry. Many people are trapped in cycles of stress because they believe their efforts alone determine their livelihood. But once you place trust in Allah, you live with the assurance that your sustenance was written long before you were born, and no one can take what Allah has decreed for you. This trust frees you from desperation, greed, and envy, allowing you to work with dignity and sleep with peace. When risk flows from unexpected places, it is a reminder that Allah is closer to you than your fears, and His treasures are greater than your imagination. Every moment of trust brings provision, every act of patience attracts relief, and every whisper of gratitude increases blessings. Risk is never limited to what your hands can reach. It flows endlessly from the one who owns the heavens and the earth. Number 8, du'as turn into living miracles. One of the greatest acts of trust in Allah is making dua. Dua is not simply words spoken into the air. It is a direct conversation with the one who controls everything in existence. Every time you raise your hands and call upon Allah, you are declaring with your heart that you believe He hears you, that He cares for you, and that He has the power to change your situation in ways beyond your imagination. This act of surrender and reliance turns dua into a channel through which miracles flow into your life. When you trust Allah while making dua, your words carry a different weight. You do not pray with doubt or hesitation. You pray with certainty that your request has already been heard. Some people make dua as if they are unsure whether Allah will respond, but those who trust Him make dua with conviction, knowing that His response may come immediately, may be delayed for wisdom, or may be replaced with something far greater. Each outcome is a blessing, because Allah never ignores the voice of a sincere heart. The beauty of dua is that it is not limited by time, place, or circumstance. You can whisper it in the middle of the night, in moments of pain, or even in times of joy. Trust in Allah transforms dua from a routine act into a living miracle, because every sincere request plants a seed in the unseen. Some seeds sprout quickly and visibly, while others grow silently over the years, only to blossom at the perfect time. And when they blossom, you realize that Allah was answering your dua all along, in the way most suited for you. Another miracle of dua is the comfort it brings before the response even arrives. When you pour your heart out to Allah, a sense of relief and peace settles in. because you know you are no longer carrying your burden alone. That inner peace itself is a miracle, reminding you that Allah is listening even if the solution is still unfolding. Dua becomes not only a means of asking, but also a way of strengthening your relationship with the one who never leaves you. Every answered dua, whether big or small, is proof that trust in Allah turns your words into reality, from protection you never noticed to opportunities you never planned to guidance you never sought consciously. All of these are living miracles born from sincere prayers. The more you trust, the more powerful your du'as become, and the more you see how Allah transforms whispers into wonders.